if you're a business owner, an independent professional, or even a salesperson, have you ever thought, gosh, there's so much information out there on how to improve my sales that it's just so confusing. Well, where do I even start? How do I know whether when this person talks about, the types of questions that you ask, this is the thing that's going to make a difference? Or when someone says, you've got to be a better closer, you've got to be able to push for the sale. How do I know that that's actually the right thing, right? So there's so much information out there that I thought, you know what, after almost 30,000 hours, more than 15 years of doing sales, from retail sales on shop floor, right the way to selling, high-end, IT technology solutions for millions of pounds. What are the fundamentals of sales? How can I help you kind of cut out all the noise and the confusion and really think about what the basics are that you must involve when it comes to sales, or even marketing actually. Whatever the way you're influencing someone, what are the 3 things that you should really think about? And I found out that in those 30,000 hours, with all the mistakes that I made and all the successes, it really came down to just 3 things. Now, of course, there are technicalities and skills and techniques within those 3. But if you make sure that you have all 3 of these things in every sales or marketing interaction, you are more than 90% of the way towards doing the right things to then get the right results. So here's the first one, right, is making a connection. And this is about making a genuine connection, right? Not just fake, how are you, how's your day, and then bam, let's go right into it, because really I don't care, I just wanted to do the niceties so I can actually talk to you. No, this is about making a genuine connection with someone. So, what do you know about the person that you're talking about, right? So, what do you know about their desires? And these are their life desires, not desires to do with your product or service, their life desires, them as a person, right? People know when you're not being genuine. So be genuine, right? Try to either research their desires, or if you've only researched a certain amount, there's not much you can find and you would like to learn more, ask them those questions. What's really important for you? What is it you're trying to achieve from your role? What is it you're trying to achieve from life? Right? What are your values? Right? Sometimes you don't want to be very direct and ask those kind of very deep questions straight away, and like I said, there are some techniques into how you do that, but the ultimate aim is to make a genuine connection with someone, to feel that rapport, so that that person feels that they're comfortable with you as either a person or a brand. Right? So you want to know what their desires are, and you want to know what their pains are. Know those 2 things, and you are able to have a genuine connection with them where they trust and feel comfortable with you and are therefore open to doing business with you, right? And giving you their hard-earned money. So that's the first thing, connections. Second thing is sharing ideas. How often do you buy from someone that says, buy this product, buy my laptop, buy my phone, right? Buy my suit. No one does that, right? Instead, what the most effective companies or salespeople or marketers do is that they share an idea with you. And this works in B2B, business to consumer, so if you're selling direct to a consumer, and it works especially well when you're selling to businesses, so business to business, B2B. Right? But you're sharing the idea. Right? So, Apple do this very well, where they say, in the beginning, obviously now, Apple is used everywhere, right? And excuse my handwriting, Apple is used everywhere, so it's not so much, but in the beginning, their marketing was all about daring to be different. So what if you could be different? How would that make you feel? Right? The connection there again. Right? So share ideas with them. right? So you see it all the time, actually, especially when someone talks to an investor or in a business discussion where you see those adverts on YouTube all the time around social media, or self-help gurus, or even those people who are offering you a solution to get out of the 9 to 5. They don't start with saying, you don't need to be in 9 to 5, get out of it, I have something for you for that. No. They start by saying, what would you do if you can get out of 9 to 5? How would that make you feel? Do you even want to get out of that? What if I had a solution for you where you will be able to earn extra income, leave your job, and enjoy your life while doing that? How would you respond to that? So what they're doing is they're sharing an idea with you. So whether you're selling direct to a consumer or you're selling to a business, you're sharing ideas. You're not just spewing out, specs, proposition value, benefits of the product. You're not talking about how great your product is versus someone else's. No. You are sharing an idea about what this product will mean to you. Or you're sharing an idea about how would you ultimately like to feel. And we'll talk about this in a few other videos where you're not selling to people's logical side initially, you're selling to people's emotional side. And that's very important. And there's another video that I'll be posting about this, but think about what is the emotional state that the person you're talking to or reaching out to would like to feel, right? Is it a state of risk aversion, or is it a state of euphoria, right? And it will be connected to what it is that you offer. The final one is convincing someone to change and act. Once you've done these two things here, you've made a genuine connection with someone, you understand their desires and pains, you've shared an idea about a better future or avoiding a worse outcome, right? And you've appealed to their emotional side. Now what you've got to do is you've got to convince them to change and act. Now people talk about this as the call to action, people say it's the close, but essentially you are convincing someone to change and then act on that change. Now we all know that change is a difficult thing, right? And we hear it all the time. People are afraid of change. But not many people explain why people are afraid of change. So let me break that down for you. People are afraid of change basically because it's the unknown. And different people have different feelings towards the unknown. Some people are exploratory, they're adventurous, and they thrive on the unknown. Others absolutely detest the unknown. They fear it, and most of the time irrationally. But the change is about moving someone from a state of knowledge and certainty to a future that is unknown. And that's what you've got to remember. And because of that, a lot of it is emotionally based. It's not logical. Even if you say to someone, look, my product or service is almost with certainty going to take you to a better place, a lot of the times people won't do it because they just fear the change, they fear the unknown, and they would rather stay with what they have than to move it. Most people say, well, and when I ask business owners, who are your competitors, right? They give me the list of, well, what is your competition? They give me a list of all these companies, right? Most of them don't realize that the single biggest competitor you have is status quo. Right? What I mean by that is not changing, staying with the same. No matter what your business is, no matter what you do, whatever it is that you offer, whatever product or service, whether it's consumer related or business related, your biggest competition, your biggest hurdle is status quo. Not another product or a better product, not a newer service, right? It is status quo. Right? So people feeling that it is safer to stay the same, even though it may be less effective, less desirable, less beneficial than what you're offering. They would rather stay where they are because the unknown is just too scary. They don't want to take that risk. So, convincing someone to change and then act is the next stage. You want to make this as safe as possible for them. And I talk about this in one of my articles where, the reason why my retention rate in sales, when I was doing sales, was so high is because I was very paranoid about what would make this person feel safe enough to continue working with me. I was very paranoid about all the potential risks to why this person might either go with someone else or spend less with me as a client. So you want to make the environment for either a customer or a potential customer as safe as possible for them to act. Right? You want to eliminate all the potential negatives. Right? You want to eliminate all the potential negatives and embellish all the positives. And because the unknown is usually emotional, that means that they have blown the negative out of all proportion. They have made it far bigger than what it really is. And in their minds, that is outweighing the positives. Whereas in reality, if we're thinking more logically, usually the positive will absolutely outweigh the negative. But because they're in this emotional state, they're leaning on the negative most of the time. So what you want to do is you want to reduce this perception, and it's usually a perception, reduce the perception of negativity in making the change and lift up the safety of the positive elements. Right? So I talked about simplifying this process for you. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of techniques and skills, and we can talk about things like transfer of ownership. We can talk about things like, the framework that I have, which is the 4 W's and 1 H, in terms of the questions that you ask and how to ask smart questions that actually gets the person to connect with you better and trust you. We can talk about how the techniques are in terms of the jolt of how you get someone out of this apathy of emotional state right now and get them to sit up and take notice of an idea that you're sharing. There's a lot of skills and techniques used there, and we'll go on to those in some articles and other videos. But what I want you to come away from this remembering is 3 things. Number 1, and these are the 3 major things that the anatomy of every successful sales, marketing, or influencing or communication technique is using. And that is, number 1, am I making a genuine connection with this person? And is the connection so powerful that they trust and connect with me? Right? They feel safe and engage with me. Right? That's the first thing. What is the value of the connection? How powerful is this connection that I'm making? Secondly, how powerful are the ideas that am I even sharing with them an idea about their life and their business? Is that idea so powerful that, again, it jolts them from a state of neutrality, right? This mutual state. And am I sharing with them a powerful idea that makes them think, tell me more about it? And then, in my interaction, am I considering the emotional element for why they might be afraid to make the change and to do the action? Right? It's not enough to have a call to action button. Call to action button is just the last bit. People say, you must have a call to action button. You must have that call to action. But what they fail to actually talk about is, the call to action is just the actual physical act of making the change. But they haven't dealt with the emotional decision before they make that physical change, right? So before you have a call to action button, have you considered the fear that they have to make that change? Have you reduced the perception of this huge negative implication or impact of them making this change? And have you lifted up the safe areas and the positive elements of that, right? So in any sales interaction, any marketing interaction, remember these 3 things: connection, sharing of ideas, and convincing someone to change and act. And in future videos and certain articles, we'll start to talk about certain techniques, but hopefully that's been of value to you. Hopefully that's made things a lot simpler for you as well. So whenever you do your own research, whenever you Google how do I grow my business, or how do I get better at sales, or how do I get better at attention, think about the techniques that they're using. Where do those techniques fall in one of these three categories? And then you will have a much clearer map of where all these new things that you're learning, where do they all fit into your process, and you can even start to master how to adapt those to not only your own personality, but to the personality of the person you're speaking with, the type of company you're engaging with, and even down to things like the number of people in the group that you're having to sell to as well, right? Because everyone has different personalities that you need to reach out to. So remember those three things. Like and subscribe on the YouTube channel here that we have. Love to hear your comments. How have you used any of these three things here? How has simplifying this made this a lot easier for you? Love to hear your comments, and also love to hear any thoughts that you might have on any other themes or topics that you'd like me to share that would be of value for you. So like and subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll speak to you again.